Ready, guys?
I'm ready.
Good. I would just like to preface my comments with respect for the board and the work you do, which is appreciated. But I do have some concerns. And one of them is directed at Selectman Heath. He was delegated to make 2 phone calls, one to Mr. Torno to get him in here, and one to James Masonry, who has the mowing contract. Now, I think this will be the 3rd week that he has not done this. And I would like to know, as a citizen, what recourse is there for Mr. Heath not doing his job? I mean, the 2 simple phone calls.
I wanna write this down on the calendar. I was gonna use it as a note. I'll give it back, I promise.
Would you care to answer that, Royce?
No comment.
Well, that's my next
That's where we're gonna go today.
My next question, that any time that you're put on the fire, we get a no comment, and that I feel is very unfair to your constituents. You have a job to do. 2 simple phone calls, and they haven't been done. Now, since first of the year, you've earned over $16,000, and you have the potential to earn another probably 6 to 8 before the first of the year comes. That's $24,000 of taxpayers' money. Now, I know you do a good job in other areas, but as far as the 2 phone calls and the minutes, they're still hanging out on the line. Do you have a comment about that?
No comment.
No comment. Is there anything you will comment to?
No comment.
Well, I might make a suggestion that you rephrase some of your no comments to I'll try better and be more respectful to your constituents. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome. I might offer my services to make 2 phone calls, but that won't happen either.
When we open the bids, will that people have to be here?
They don't have to be here, but
They don't
they
have
can
to?
be, right?
Do we ever get anything electrical?
I have no idea what they've received up there. I'll finish this to ship it out.
I have to say that town hall didn't look bad out front there.
No,
Where it got hit today.
Very
Nothing-
minor.
I had to look to find it. Is the lady okay?
Did we ever get the mowing bid out there, for the side of the roads?
I
We
believe it's
open
been
tonight.
posted.
It's been posted?
Yeah, I think they're all,
That's what I meant, it actually gotten,
I don't know if we received any, but.
We're doing that commitment tomorrow, you said?
I gotta check with Sue again. She said that, then I raised a question, cause she had several other questions that she's looking at right now, so.
as far as I know, I might not be able to get around it tomorrow afternoon.
When you're assessing tomorrow? When you going out assessing?
Probably go tonight
Some.
and some tomorrow.
Let's go tomorrow when you get back. How many we got?
Well,
now?
if we got the commitment, then we're gonna need to be in here.
Well, you can't commit until the assessment's
Right.
done.
Oh, that's right. What's wrong with me? Yes, that's
You
right.
can't commit until the assessments are done.
Right, so the sooner we get them done, the better. We'll see what we got. I mean, what we have, a total of 6 or 7, I guess, we
You
ended up.
said 9.
2 of which I'll go take care of tonight,
Yep.
so that'll knock it down to 7.
7 or 5, whatever that is. Yeah. If we can get rid of a couple of them tonight, that would sound pretty good.
If she had a question here or there, I'd like to have them defined a little bit clearer in my head as to, I don't know what you're looking at, it wasn't very clear to me what
Right, it
she's
wasn't.
asking, so I'd like to have it a little bit clearer before,
She's got it.
I could probably help knock them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can I ask a question? If nobody ever calls J&S and the term comes to the end, we just have to pay them, even though they haven't performed all their work correctly. Is that right? Because nobody ever bothered to complain.
I'm
Right.
just trying to get what I have.
So unless that complaint is made, they're just going to get paid.
So you
Most
guys
likely.
gonna go now?
What is the final day of the mowing season? Isn't it October 15th or something like that? Wasn't that?
The actual mowing, I'd have to look, there's a cleanup day in November as well.
Oh, well,
Yeah, but was that, and that cleanup day was part of the contract with them?
I'll get this to you in just a minute.
Yeah, for some reason I thought I saw like October 15th, which is right after Columbus Day.
No, it'll be after.
I'd have to look at it again, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
Mm. And can a citizen make that call, or it has to be a selectman or the road commissioner?
If I was that individual, I wouldn't respond to you as a citizen.
Right.
If I bid the contract.
No, I was just asking.
I mean, so I'm just
Can-
saying.
Yeah.
I mean, most likely wouldn't get anywhere.
Mm.
You're a gmail.net or com.
Calm.
Thanks.
And Mr. Netto, you don't feel like making a phone call, huh? Paul? Paul? You don't feel like making a phone call, huh? On behalf of the people that voted for you?
I'll call somebody. You get the number, Ben?
Sue does, I think.
Okay, I'll come in tomorrow morning and I'll have a call and I'll talk to
Way to go.
him. Okay?
Way to go. That'll make me very happy. Paul, thank you very much.
Okay, so we took care of that. Mandy found these classes for ACO, Animal Control Officer.
That's what that's all about.
Yeah. Didn't know if we wanted to require her to go or find out if she's going or at least present it to her. Whatever you guys want to do on that.
What's our process on that now?
Typically, if the department head finds a class they want to go to, then they bring it to us.
What's our process on the dog, on collecting the fees and all that stuff now? Is it being done by the department head or by,
Collecting the fees
yeah,
is here.
they go across the desk? Does she feel she needs to know it. Mandy? Could we bring her in for a couple of minutes and ask
Yep.
her?
Sounds good to me.
Have the laws changed?
No, not that I know of.
Excuse me, can I
Yeah.
come back?
Yep.
Get out.
40 Ridgewood, you have a picture. It's that little cabin thing, but you didn't tell me what the assessment was.
Now they're,
Oh, I didn't put one on it. I just don't. Did you have it or no?
I have the pictures.
Did you have the assessment in? We don't have an assessment on it.
No.
Okay. Well, we'll have to discuss it.
Yeah.
And then the R1710, is there a number after the 10?
I don't believe so because I'm looking at the map.
Wasn't the Jones lady? Was it the Jones lady?
I think it's the same one that I went to look at the other. Yeah, they own both properties.
Right. One of them. Oh, you wanted me to check the foundation?
Yeah.
Because, okay, it's not 10. It's 10, but it's a number after that too. Okay.
Maybe.
that's what you want.
Maps. Maps. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll.
Here's your 17.
I know exactly where.
There's another sticky on the back of that. You need one. I see you stick to the map. Wonder where those things are coming from.
No, right. Okay, so it would have been 10-12.
Okay. All right. And she didn't have the building.
Okay, so.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna find that picture and throw it to these guys.
Did you decide about the
Sure, too
MMA
high.
convention?
My glass is cracked.
We're gonna talk about that again tonight, some more. I know Royce wanted to talk about it some more. MMA convention.
Yeah.
The other thing is country store. We want to talk about that too. The assessment on that. Let's see where we want to go on that. Just want
Okay.
the final answer on that too.
Oh, right, because we were kind of looking at it.
It was requested. So.
Right.
First things first, let's go. You're right, that was a long time ago, 4th. Can't pull it up on my phone. Can you print it? Do you have it?
You saw something.
I can't because I'm not hooked up to that printer anymore. Well, I can email it to Mandy and print it from hers, I guess, or Christine. Because I don't know why, but I'm not hooked up to the Canon anymore. And Steve was never able to find something when he fixed my computer.
I won't.
It won't
I
come
got it
up.
small, but I can't. It's just a little, I don't know if you can see it. Magnifying glass?
No, I can see it.
Just a little camp. I got the measurements on the email, 16 by 20 I think it was, or something like that.
Wasn't much.
I don't believe there's a loft, I think it's just cathedral ceiling.
The one on the right.
Yeah, the red one's just a storage building on the property as well.
Mm-hmm. 15 by 20, you thinking?
I measured it, it was 16 by, oh, it's in the email, hold on.
Okay.
16 by 14 and a half.
Not a big building. And you said they have it finished off, or no?
Some are camp, some are,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that a small range?
No,
Small.
there's no foundation, no. I mean, so I'd say 25, just because that's what we were doing with some other ones that we were looking at.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
do address these camps, I know of a few
Yeah.
that we've run into doing mobile homes.
All right.
Does that sound reasonable to you, 25?
Okay. Thank you.
You had like multiple questions there, that was one of them.
Yeah.
I think what was the other ones? That lot, we took care of that. Thank you. Mandy coming in?
They were busy. They were waiting.
Okay.
She had people waiting in the chairs out there, so.
Okay, okay.
are they waiting for bids though, or are they waiting for her?
Excuse me?
No.
Are they waiting for bid openings, or are they waiting for
Oh,
her?
maybe they were. I'll go
Yeah,
check
that's
again.
because usually when they're waiting for bid openings, she has them sit in the chairs there.
Yeah, there could be people out there.
Well, they'll take it.
Like, I understand.
Ben, can I ask you if anything about come up when Chris come in and he was talking about a town employee operating a independent contractor's truck getting paid by the town and the independent contractor getting paid for the rental of his truck, which when you're renting the truck, doesn't it usually come with the driver at the 55 an hour? So if he was operating Scott Garish's truck that day at $55 or $60 an hour, whatever it is, was he also getting paid on the clock of the road crew and also getting Scott Garish getting paid full amount for his truck that day?
Yep.
Because I'm a little concerned about that if they're on ongoing road projects and nobody's had the chance to address that with Tommy, what's going on there? Because that's, you know, I mean, on an 8-hour day, that's over $400 for
I
the
agree.
truck with the driver, and then plus we're paying the employee as well. If, you know, if that all works out to be the truth of the matter.
So these are some things that need to be cleaned up as far as I'm concerned. But
So how are we going to get Tommy in here if nobody will call him? That's the question.
yeah, well, it needs to be addressed. I'll leave it at that. He's not an elected official. He's an employee of the town, so it does need to be addressed.
And so
The board.
who's, you know, that's what I kind of thought. That's- and I know you can't do it all, and I know you've been kind of kicking back waiting for
I'll
somebody
give my
else to,
second breath.
I know.
This is just a class that it's a free class, is what Mandy told me. So it was a free class that she thought maybe Mary might want to go to.
Let her go.
Oh yeah,
Well, if she wants to go.
we'll have to contact her.
Oh, I thought
So-
you meant, you had said it was from Andy.
No, I did not. No, it's from Mary.
So tell her she doesn't have to come in.
She's not gonna until their customers are taken care of anyway.
This was in my box too about the discussion about the ordinance changes.
Yeah, we got a call.
Got a copy? Okay, so let's discuss that real quick.
I'll see if I can find mine.
Yep.
It should be up here still. Look at that.
So her questions were, make sure I get the events and outdoor festival ordinance that was proposed by she and Mike. Her new question is, should we insert a repealer clause repealing the mass gathering ordinance and use this ordinance in its place? This way we would only have one ordinance and all bases covered. If yes, should we increase the people from 250 to 300? And secondly, do we need an hourly cap, such as 300 people for 2 hours?
This ordinance, was it put in by a vote of the people or by,
This is the one that's requested to go on the ballot to be voted on.
no, the one that they're talking about, the
The
repealing?
mass, yes, mass gathering, yeah. 1983, I think it was. 81 or 83. Very much outdated. Since I've been in here, it's been on the ballot twice
And voted down.
and voted down.
This one here has been voted down twice.
The mass gathering changes. The mass gathering that exists is like 1981, and it's way outdated.
So if this is voted down, we go back to the old one?
So you still have your mass gathering, yep. Yep.
That
This
was-
is a second ordinance that they're trying to fill the gaps with, that we have certain events, I'll say it that way, certain events recently that have happened that did not trigger the mass gathering. The mass gathering ordinance, I'm going from memory now, was it 500 people at 6 hours, I think it
5
is?
hours.
and so these people aren't coming in for any permit at all. You know, we're getting a lot of complaints from residents that live near these events, but there's nothing we can do. There's nothing that triggers them to make them come in. We can't go after them for any reason. It's a very poorly written mass gathering ordinance. Probably worked in 1980, whatever. It doesn't work for us now. So this is a proposal to fill in some of those gaps. And now their question is, or Mandy's question, I guess, is should we tighten this one up just a little bit more, propose this as a repealing the original mass gathering, which is outdated.
I personally would keep it at 250.
I also suggested to her, oh, maybe she got it in there. Okay, section 5 does address the noise constraints, but I think there should be a time period that all noise needs to be shut down. We're getting a lot of complaints. I don't know if you saw your email today. There was an email complaint today.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Just in general, get skydive. You know, nothing to do with any special. It's just there's a lot of noise every weekend. Past the midnight hour is what this person was saying. We don't have any ordinance of any kind to address that. We probably should. Within our power to put something on the ballot for noise ordinance too.
They landed in our field last week.
Oh, did they?
It's cool to see him though, isn't it?
Did you have something of an accident over there this last weekend?
ATV accident.
ATV and motor vehicle?
Yeah, it was like hit a parked car in their parking lot at like 1 o'clock in the morning. 3 guys on an ATV, on one ATV.
Yeah. Well, they're on private property doing their own thing, I guess.
Called for life flight, but it was too foggy. They wound up transporting
Yeah,
by
that was a
ambulance.
problem, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a problem. I mean, it can be clear on one end and fogged in on the other and not be able to help out. Is that the one where Life Flight was on its way back? It was already going out to Boston or something and on its way back to Portland or something like that? There was one.
No, that was the other one.
That's the other one. Oh, that was the most.
The end of River Road. Yeah.
So this is okay.
And it stops being fun when people lose their lives and when they get hurt real bad. And
Some of this stuff's no-brainer stuff, but I still present it to you guys, the whole board. So what's your thoughts on this?
I'm still reading.
I think the only thing she did was make the changes that what we suggested when we met. It's the only thing I've seen that was different. I wish she had clipped on the original with the requested
That's what
changes.
I'd like to see,
I'd like to see it too, yeah.
so we can compare.
We probably have a copy. I don't know if you kept your copy or not, but
All these things are fine, but this comes with a fee too, right? I'd like to see those all put right with each ordinance.
well, that's what
And
she's
also
removing.
how we're gonna change
That's what-
those, how will we change those fees to keep up in the future?
But that's what she's proposing to remove from the ordinances is the fees. And, you know, having them right in the ordinance, because then you're stuck. You know, so since 1981, you know, such and such fee's been the same.
What are we gonna
So-
do to make them changeable?
Fee schedule, and people would vote to allow the select board to change them. That's what the whole point of all this is. So that we can keep up, I mean, if we're sitting in here, Mike's sitting over there saying, hey, you know, this isn't paying for me, which is what's happening right now. I mean, I've sat in on budget committee meetings and they think that, you know, the fees are paying for your code enforcement officer, and it's not even close.
Right.
Not even close.
How hard would it be to include that?
Used to be that
To
way.
include
Right.
that right with this.
But if you had a
How
bad year,
hard would it be to have it included right with this, that the selectmen, that the changes will be left up to the select board?
That is on the fee schedule request. This is totally separate from that. She's got several proposals. I'm
Easy.
scared.
My
No,
opinion
don't be
now.
stupid. Mandy asked me to drop that off.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh,
bids.
that must be your bids.
Okay, good. Good. Well, we got something good.
Yay.
I didn't see anybody out there at the time that looked like they were bidders. 2 minutes ago. Got any bidders out there yet? Well,
what?
any bidders out there yet?
I don't know what a bidder looks like.
So, to answer her questions, are you guys in favor of proposing this events outdoor festivals ordinance to replace the mass gathering? So should we word it, should she word it so that it replaces the existing mass gathering? If it fails, then you keep
We
the
go
old one.
back
You
to-
keep the old one anyway. It's still in effect.
I would like to see the old ones.
I wonder. My question first would be, I guess, for me, maybe we're putting the cart ahead of the horse, because this helps to fill in some gaps right now that need to be addressed. And if we tried to repeal the mass gathering ordinance with this, it may get voted down because people will be confused. I would suggest probably see if this passes, because this fills in some spots that we need some help on. And then down the road, next year or something like that, June, whatever, now that it passed, do you want
Take
to
out
replace
the
it?
other one.
That'd be my suggestion. I don't know.
We're protected both ways.
What I've learned in 2+ years in here, baby steps. Don't try to do too much at one time, and
That's why the
confuses people.
comprehensive plan got killed 20 years ago when they had a good plan.
Just sometimes too much to understand what's going on.
Because these people are sophisticated.
Unless you're in here. Yeah.
Look at the votes.
So you guys are nodding your heads, so you're in agreement with that?
Yeah,
To
but
not
you
repeal it?
make the change after.
Royce is
Not-
saying no.
I'm saying no. And I will say no until we get, I don't wanna see I'm not gonna vote yes on anything until
You're saying no as far as no repeal? Or,
it's completed.
yeah, so we'll put that
I
on here.
I want these documents all done before I make a vote on them.
Oh, we absolutely will, but she needs some guidance, and that's what she's asking for, guidance from us, and so she has something to present. So this is not applicable. The only thing, like I say, the only thing I see that I would like to see addressed is a time period. Right now with the different events that just recently happened, we're in conversations with the state police the last 2 years, who's then in conversations with the people putting on these festivals and different things like that, these private parties. And basically they're agreeing, to shut down at midnight, shut down at 9 o'clock on Sunday, or whatever time. Do we want to put that, here's my question, do we want to try to put that in this ordinance, or do we want to put that as a separate noise ordinance after today's complaint? Did you read your email from today?
I skimmed over it, I could read it again.
I can read it, hold on.
Good.
Okay, it says, hello, my name is Catherine Wadley. I live on the Upper Guinea Road. I was wondering about a noise ordinance in Lebanon. Every weekend, Skydive New England has parties and bands. It is very loud. I usually don't mind if it stops at 11, but many times it goes on into early morning hours. Not just music. Firecrackers, gunshots, yelling, cheering, and loud cars racing up and down the runway. I don't see how this is fair to nearby homeowners. I've tried to speak to the owners to no avail. Tonight I called the state police at 11:30. If I had a party and created a nuisance like this every weekend, I'm sure I'd get fined by the police. Is there anything that can be done? That's one complaint. But again, we're constantly bartering and negotiating with these private parties that aren't triggering the mass gathering ordinance, and we're hoping they're gonna comply and be nice to the neighbors is what's happening. We don't have an ordinance that's backing it at all. And there's no strength to it. And I don't know if you guys wanna throw something like that on the ballot.
Why don't we put some of this stuff in June? You know, I don't trust November elections.
Yeah.
When is your trust November election? Just curious.
I've seen a lot of stuff go down in November. It's just that, I don't know, they come in and it's all over.
You tend to have fewer people show up in November unless
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
big primaries or something going on too, which
Not,
this year
they come in and it seems like it's town business, it should be done in the spring or May, whenever we have the meeting.
What's your thought?
Yeah.
We could have her write up a
I haven't
proposal.
seen anything yet that I was really happy with in any of this stuff, but
But I mean, do you think we need a noise ordinance or just let it keep flying?
Excuse me.
it's funny.
As far as fireworks and stuff like that, you've already got that.
There used to be
coverage
a
from
9
the state.
o'clock noise ordinance in town. I don't know whatever became of it. They just chose not to use it or what the story was.
Yeah,
on
I got the
that.
ordinance book from back in '04 that I had bought at the time,
This was
and
probably back
which-
even older than that.
why we can't even get these anymore. You know, you could come in here and buy them now. Supposedly you can, but there was a lot of them that I read and thought were out there too, like dog barking ordinances, things like that. They were on the books and they were repealed at some point in time.
Were they repealed or was
Yeah, it
it just
says on-
kinda,
it says on
that's
them
what I'm
repealed.
wondering, did they just get kinda lost in the shuffle and
Yeah.
as time went on?
They got a date on them as far as a repeal, so I assume they were voted on.
Okay.
But
And they probably were repealed.
yeah, which is odd, you know, to me that,
Yeah.
that would, something like that would even be repealed. But
Yeah.
But, all right, well,